Hello everyone, it's Wendy. So, here's my question for this video. How to stay motivated. I have some tips, I have some tricks, I have some successful things to report, I have some failures to report. Why? Because I'm human. All right, so grab a cup of coffee, tea, water, cocktail, whatever it is you're doing, wherever you're at in the world, and let's get this party started. I'm still drinking coffee. It's a beautiful day. We are now in December. Isn't that crazy how the time has just flown by? I can't believe it's going to be 2025 here pretty quick. All right, so I actually did put some notes on a piece of paper. I typically don't do that, you guys. You know me. I just kind of roll with it. But I wanted to make sure that I covered very specific points in today's video because I want to keep this short, sweet, and to the point. And then I would like to get some conversations going in the comments. I would like to hear from you. Any tips, any tricks, successes, failures, things that you're working on. And these don't have to be New Year's resolutions. You know how I feel about those types of things. Most people fail at them. This is one of those ongoing projects in our life. Now, we don't have to stay motivated 24/7, 365 days a year. We don't have to have a calendar that is booked solid with crap to do all the time, okay? There is nothing wrong with just being, just sitting and or standing or laying down, whatever it is you want to do, and just being. Okay, you don't have to always be on the go. And that is one of my failures. Okay, I'm just going to start out by saying that. And I think it's because I have worked from home for 12 years. I was doing it before it was cool. It just happened to be the job that I went after, and when I wanted to get out of working in an office, and it was remote because I was not in the same state as where the company was located. And that's what I've done for the last 12 years. This is the job I'm going to be retiring from here by the end of the month. Oh, so excited. And one of the things with me is because I do work from home is on the weekends, I don't want to be at home because I'm here all the time during the week. I remember when I was working in an office, I loved being home on the weekends in my environment around my cozy, cool stuff or, doing whatever. I enjoyed that because I am pretty much a homebody. But I'm telling you, there's definite pros and cons to working from home. And for me, that's one of the cons. It's wrecked that for me. And I really struggle with that. And that's been a total failure on my part that I need to improve on because what I end up doing is going out and spending money on shit that I don't need. And it can be anything. It can be something completely frivolous at the store for $2 or $20. And it's just one of those things where I will impulse buy at that point. Now, I'm pretty frugal with my money, as you know. I'm very strict with things. And that's because I want to put all of that into my investments so I can make more in returns. But I do find that I struggle with that sometimes. And so that is like one of my things that I need to definitely work on continuously. Now, how this is going to look in retirement, you guys, I have no idea because the problem with this country, because it's so big, is you have to have a car pretty much unless you live in specific cities to get around, okay? And that is expensive. I mean, golly, my health insurance, my car insurance just went up like $200 for 6 months. Well, yeah, because these idiot insurance companies have to get that money back somehow from all the money they lost from the 2 hurricanes. We all know how this works. And it's a big ripoff. And that's just the way it is. But you got to do it. And you don't want to have the crappiest bare minimum insurance because God forbid something would happen and then you're screwed. So you've got to, think carefully about that. But I saw that bill increase and I was like, are you flipping kidding me right now? Whatever. So, to go and do things costs a lot of money because everything is expensive in this country. That's just the way it is. There's nothing cheap anymore. If you want to go take dance lessons, even if it's in a group environment, it's expensive to do stuff like that. And if you're trying to be frugal, you're going to have to think about what you want to spend money on versus what you don't want to spend money on, but you don't want to be bored out of your mind. And so I've got a lot of soul searching that I need to do with a lot of things. And I've got to make some decisions on what I want to do with regard to having either a podcast or not. My website that I want to do that I haven't, it's all written down. I have all the ideas and everything else. I just haven't, gone for it yet because, again, that costs money. And and I'm not saying it's going to fail. I'm not saying it's going to succeed. I have no idea. I won't know unless I try. But then I'm like, do I really, really want to do that? Because I can't stand working on a computer. I hate it. And I don't hate anything, but I do hate computers. And it's because I've been doing the computer work for, I don't know, 25 years. And I'm done with it. I'm sick of it. I can't stand it. So I really got to do some serious soul searching here. And of course, I can't do that when I'm working a 40-hour-a-week job on a computer, and it's just like sucking my life force right out of me, and I can't do it. And I got a really cool comment in my last video, a lot of cool comments, but I got one just the other day, and they had retired when they were 52. I don't know how old they are now because they didn't say, but she had mentioned that she wakes up every day excited. And that's where we should all be. And I know it's hard. It's not easy in any decade of our lives. But, the difference between, even when I was a younger person in my 20s and I was broke as hell all the time, it was still exciting to wake up every day because it was an adventure. And the older you get, so many things change that. And the world beats you down and it's just all these things. And that's why I said in my last video, we have to focus on that inner child and letting that inner joy out and just getting excited about things that might seem silly now that weren't silly when you were either a kid or a teenager, right? The moon when it's full and how beautiful it is, and, rainbows after the thunderstorm and just the formation of the clouds. When they're not doing certain things up in the sky, if you know what I mean. And, the sunrise and the sunset and the birds and the flowers and just all of these really, really cool things and getting back into reality because we were so full of reality back then. And now it's just like nonstop la la land. And I have got to just get out of that because it's wrecked me for so many years and it's blown my motivation on so many different things. So this is why I want to talk about how to stay motivated, because there's certain things in my life I am like motivated as hell to do and I'm consistent with them, and other areas in my life that I suck at it and I need to change that. So let's talk about those things and see where it goes from there. So you know that I do the P-Volve workouts. I started those about mid-month in September of 2023, so it's just a little over a year. And I do them on my TV because I get the Silk internet browser, whatever, and I just do them on my TV because there is no way I am watching a flipping workout either on my phone or on a little ass computer. It is just not going to happen. And so I literally do watch them on my TV. It's fantastic. I love it. And I've been doing them now for a little over a year, and it keeps track of everything that I've done. You can go back and look month by month. It keeps track of your total, so you get to see those results. And I've got really good results. I've got 225 on-demand videos done, and they've got like well over, I think, 1,600 videos in their library. Plus they do live streaming, you guys, in studio live streaming events if you're not in a city that has a studio. And that's actually 97 hours, because I usually do anywhere from like a 25 to a 35-minute video. I try to do them 4 to 5 days a week, and that's where I'm at right now. So there is a win, right? That's a success. I stay motivated to do these. Why? Well, because they really help out my hip mobility. Not that I didn't have good hip mobility, but because I had a lower back injury, even though I still have to go and get adjusted all the time because it just never wants to stay in place. The hip mobility that I needed to increase and get the strength on that side has been tremendous. The balance, I had really good balance before. My balance is off the charts now. It's like crazy. And I'm 55 years old. And I can pass the shoe test where you have one leg up and you put the sock on, and then you have your untied shoe and you put the shoe on, and you do all of that on one leg without putting your foot down, the whole nine, anything. I can do that. Okay? I can do Asian squats like nobody's business. So this workout actually makes me feel good, and it loosens me up. So when I get on my foam roller, when I'm done doing the workout, everything just cracks back there. Not the hip adjustment needs to be done, but that's a whole different ballgame. But the rest of my back, I can just crack it, and it's good. It feels good. And of course, I've always been able to do military push-ups, since in my 30s. When I started doing them, I can still do them. And there's a lot of plank workout in some of these workouts, depending on which one you watch. And I love, that part of it. Now, what I'm going to do is add on to my workout some more strength training, because I haven't been to a gym for a while. And that's because I got sick and tired of paying $50 a month. That to me was a ripoff. And then I had to drive like 35 miles round trip just to get there. I mean, again, very expensive. Now, where I live here in this apartment community, even though I hate living here because you can hear the neighbors, it's just like, of course, it's the same stuff. I hate it, but whatever. Anyway, there's a gym here, and so I want to go down and do more heavy weightlifting a couple of days a week, because I can do the videos with the progressive weight training with P-Volve, but I'd have to get more weights. And I don't want to do that. I want to stay as lean as possible on everything I have, be as mobile as possible where I live, meaning I can just pick up and leave. Even though I have a couch and a TV and a bed now, I still want to be mobile in that aspect. Okay? So that's a definite success for me. And it's because I finally found something that I like. I mean, I've done all of the Beachbody workouts, and they would work great for, 2-3 months, and then I would get just bored with them. I don't know what it was, and I don't know if it was just the atmosphere of them. I'm not really sure. But the P-Volve workouts, I really like them, and I think it's just because I see such phenomenal results in my functional fitness, and the functional fitness is so important as we age. So that's a big success for me. Change it up. Right? That's another thing about the P-Volve that I absolutely love, you guys, is because there's so many different workouts. And then you can also join their live streams when they're doing studio workouts. You can sign up and join those if you have, you can schedule that appointment and you can do that. So there's just well over 1,500 videos in there. They put 2 to 3 up new every single week. It's insane. And I never get bored with them. So I can save whatever I want to my favorites, and then I just go to my favorites, and then I can just go through and pick one that I want to do. And one day I'll do lower body, one day I'll do upper body, I'll do full body. Sometimes I'll do a standing only workout. Sometimes I do one that includes being on the mat, on the floor, just all sorts of different things. And I don't get bored with them. And I'm a person that gets bored very easily. It's just my personality. It's who I am. Amazing that I stayed at this job for 12 years. And I am so bored to tears, like I can't even tell you right now how excited I am to be able to tell them to piss off, because I can't wait to do that. And, you've got to sometimes pep talk yourself, and that's what I need to do better in certain situations, like when I decide to have a little treat that I shouldn't have, like a donut or something like that. I need to get better at that because that stuff is not good for me. I know it's not good for me. So I need to get better at that. But I have pep talks with myself for certain things, like not wanting to wear all of the fabulous clothes that I have in my closet. I tend to stick to certain things all the time. And that's that 80-20 rule that most of you have heard of. And I'm trying to get away from that because otherwise, why the hell do I have those clothes in my closet? I'm not going to wear them. Okay. Now it's a little hard because I am in Florida right now and it's not like really, really cold. So there's certain things I can't wear in my closet. But for the most part, I can go through and I can cycle those things out. So that's how I motivate myself is I pep talk myself. I go in there and I say, okay, well, you just wore those yesterday. You don't need to wear those today. And then I will pick out something else. And then I'm trying to get outside of the box and put different outfits together that are maybe a little unconventional. And there's this gal that I follow on YouTube that has this fashion style that's just like that. She reminds me of that Iris Appel. I think that's her name, the lady that just passed away not too long ago, who was like this fabulous, exuberant, over the top fashion icon in New York City. And she just, whoa, but it looked so good on her. Well, that's what this lady is she's more toned down, but she's in that realm, and it's fabulous. And I'm learning so much from her because I'm trying to limit my YouTube time to only things that are going to either inspire me, motivate me, or teach me something. Okay. Otherwise, I get sucked into watching frivolous stuff, and it's like an hour later, I'm like, oh shit, I didn't get this done or I didn't get that done. So, trying to, stay motivated in that area as well. But the pep talks really, really work. I never have to have the pep talk for doing the PVOL workouts, which is fantastic. But I do have to have the pep talk when I'm telling myself, don't eat, food that I shouldn't eat, like a donut or something like that. So, I also have to shut out the outside noise. I don't get influenced by people. Like you see all these crazy videos on YouTube about the Black Friday and buy this and you need this in your wardrobe. You need that and blah, blah, blah. No, you don't need any of that shit. Okay. If you want to watch it and get ideas and inspired, that's great. If you want to go and buy the stuff, hey, that's great too. Everybody does their own thing, whatever. Right? Because I'm the same way. I go and do my own thing, but I try to shut out that outside noise and outside influence of, oh, just keep working another year. Oh, well, you don't need to quit your job. What are you going to do if you quit your job? And blah, blah, and blah, blah. And you just listen to your own inner voice and your own vibration and what it's telling you to do. Because that's what got us into this problem in the first place, is because we listen to all of the outside nonsense. And the ones that make it, and the ones that can either retire earlier, they start businesses and they become successful, they shut out the outside noise. They did something different. They went against the grain. They marched to the beat of their own drum. And, they may have failed 20 times before they became successful, but they did it. Okay, because they stopped listening to everybody else. I'm not saying don't take advice, but you have to be able to discern that advice and then turn it into either something you can use or something you need to just set aside and do your own thing. Okay, and that's, kind of how I stay motivated is I have to, I wasn't going to do this. I literally have been running my mouth for months on this, that I wanted to retire early from my full-time job, not retire from working 100% or retire from life, just retire from the stop 40 hours a week bullshit job I'm bored to tears doing. Don't want to do accounting anymore. I'm just done with it. Anyway, I could have just stayed another year. Oh, just work another year, save some more money, do this and do that, and blah, 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 blah. And it's like every day that I have to get on that computer, I just, I cringe. I cringe. And I have to sit there and give myself a pep talk just to go through it because I can't stand it. And it's not like this major physically demanding job. And yes, I have had those people. I've worked my ass off over the years in different jobs that are very physically demanding. And, you know, do I think an office job is better? Sometimes yes, sometimes no. This gets taxed your mind, but sometimes I wish I could just do something more physically demanding and not have to put so much thought into it. And I'm not saying you don't have to put thought into doing a physically demanding job. It's a different kind of right side, left side of brain function, in my opinion. Okay, I'm just going to leave it at that. So, you know, I also track my progress. You guys know that I have a planner that I even though the P-Volve tells me the progress of my workouts, I still write it down. Okay, I still do that. And I just picked this up at TJ Maxx the other day because you can always find things for really cheap at TJ Maxx. And it's just a lined planner. This is a Fringe brand. It was $6.99. But look at how cool this is. It's just a pretty olive green, and it's just got some nice lined pages in it. And it's just got a little place up at the top to put the date. So that's really cool. And other than that, it's just blank. So this is what I'm going to start utilizing as much as I can. Now, I'm going to have to pep talk myself on this to stay motivated because I am not a person that journals. I am not a person that, you know, makes a whole list of things. I think that's a waste of time. And I got to get out of that thought process because sometimes I have these really cool ideas for things, or I think of like a book or, you know, a book outline or just something off the wall. And I've got to write it down. And sometimes I do and sometimes I don't. But what I do is I write it down on a scrap piece of paper, and then pretty soon I have paper all over the place. I need to just get going and use something like this, and just, even if it's bullshit, just write it in here and keep track of it, whatever the hell it is, right? You know, and that's something that I'm going to use to keep myself motivated so I can go back and look at these things and say, oh yeah, look at that. Because seeing those 225 workouts, almost 100 hours done in just a smidge over a year for workouts is very motivating to me. And also the progress, like I said, in upping my balance to the next level and improving my functionality to the next level, huge motivation for me. So I need to just take that, right, and put it into other areas of my life. And that's what I'm saying to you to stay motivated or to get motivated is, you know, don't compare yourself to others. I mean, if you want to look at what others are doing and get inspo and motivation from them, that's great, but don't compare yourself because you're going to probably think you fall short, and that's not fair to yourself. And yes, we all are guilty of that because there's so much outside influence going on. We have all the social media. If you do that, you also have the internet. You have everything around you. So let's talk about doing this for yourself, okay? Because you are who you are. You're a fabulous individual. You're a fabulous human being, and you do you. If you want to sit on the couch and eat Cheetos and watch a movie, that's completely fine too. I'm not saying that you can't do any of that stuff, okay? Because I do some silly stuff sometimes too. Sometimes I time waste. There's nothing wrong with that, okay? You can't stay scheduled every waking minute of your day and always have something filled in each of those time slots. You know, and that's where life gets away from us the older we get, because when we're younger, we have more free time and we do frivolous and fun things. And then you get older and you get in this structure of your work environment, and then you got your weekends off, and oh my God, I've got to do this at this time, and I got to do this at this time because, you know, I have to make an appointment for this. And you get into this structure, which is like a prison cell. and you forget how to just be spontaneous and frivolous and go have fun, And for example, Saturday I went up to, I think I'm pronouncing it right, Fernandina Beach. It's like 45, 50 minutes outside of Jacksonville. And wow, what a beautiful, beautiful town that is. It's probably of the towns I visited in Florida, which isn't a lot, you guys, but probably my second favorite to Mount Dora. Just very charming, wonderful shops, and just fun to walk around. And of course, because it's nice and cool this time of year, it was a lot of fun to just walk around, and it was sunny, it was beautiful. And it was just an unexpected thing I decided to do. It was spontaneous. I ended up staying there for like, I don't know, most of the day. Didn't get home until almost dark, and it was just so much fun. So that's what's on the list, is to do more of those things, whether it's just something completely silly, something out of character for you, perhaps. But this is, and I'm not giving advice because God knows I'm not one to be handing out advice. Okay. There's a lot of things that I'm not good at. There's things that I am good at. To each their own, right? We've all got our strengths and our weaknesses. We choose which ones we want to work on and improve upon. This is just the motivation. Get excited about things and look forward to things. You can always change your circumstances, all right? And I know that for a fact. All right, you guys. So anyway, that's it. Let me know in the comments what y'all are doing. Let's get this party started. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the like button. And thank you so much for watching. Love you guys wherever you're at in this fabulous, beautiful world. Take care, and we'll talk soon. Bye.